So I've come here this evening to talk to you about why children matter. Because I often feel as if I'm shouting into the abyss about how important and necessary schools, parents, and children are for our society. Wherever people are on the political spectrum, they don't seem to understand that children are the future of our country. Schools shape what our country is to become. So I want to ask you, do you have any idea what's going on in our schools? Does anyone pay attention to what the Education Secretary of today and yesterday is saying and has said about what schools should and shouldn't do? We live in an age of such consumerism that we only understand schools to be engines of social mobility. If the school delivers excellent GCSE and A-level grades, then it's a good school, and that's all that matters. We believe that the point of a good state school is to enable social mobility for as many children as possible. And that's true to some extent, of course. At our school, Michaela, we're thrilled to have achieved the top progress nationally at GCSE for the last 2 years. We had to fight hard just to open our school in 2014. It took 3.5 years of fighting protesters outside our information events, placards calling me names, abuse in my face, hecklers preventing parents from hearing what we were saying. I used to joke that anyone would have thought that we were trying to build nuclear bombs, given the vitriol we inspired and the numerous attempts to shut us down. They still try, by the way, to get me fired, to shut Michaela down. I'm regularly attacked on X for daring to voice what most people think, or sometimes I'm just minding my own business, and even shadow government ministers who I've never interacted with try to whip up mobs against me, resulting in letters to the Teacher Standards Agency demanding my resignation or my dismissal. The reality is that I just run a school in the inner city that offers something different to families, something traditional, where the teacher is always teaching and leading from the front, where the adults don't try to be friends with the kids, but instead are in charge with a sense of authority, insisting on high standards of behavior. We have a culture at Michaela that would have been perfectly normal in 1955, but in 2024, it's considered controversial. I will never understand how the people who shout the loudest about wanting to improve the lives of disadvantaged children are the very same people who campaign most vociferously against our school. Anyone would think that these people are not actually interested in changing things for the better for these children. All they care about is looking and feeling as if they're doing something good. And then the currency to increase their social standing in their world is to signal how virtuous they are by criticizing and hating a school that does an extraordinary job both in enabling social mobility for children from diverse backgrounds, but also ensuring a culture where these kids can all get along with each other together. I love the title of tonight in this organization, Together, because schools aren't just meant to help kids fulfill their individual potential. Schools are meant to encourage children to get along with each other and build a team, a school, and indeed a country together. At Michaela, we don't just care about the GCSE and A-level results our kids get. Sure, we want them to fulfill their individual potential, but we also want Britain as a country to succeed. And whether you like it or not, Britain is a multicultural country. Those of you on the right who would rather we return to 1955, where ethnic minorities are few and far between, need to accept the reality of 2024. And those of you on the left need to genuinely ask yourselves whether just throwing everyone into a melting pot, having divisive policies in our schools that are not about encouraging everyone to get along together, is this working? When those on the right say that multiculturalism is failing, do they not have a point? The problem we have is that these are the only two camps available. Either you believe multiculturalism is failing and could never succeed, or you believe that multiculturalism is a wonderful success, and how dare anyone suggest otherwise, and if they do, they're just a racist. No one looks to the power of our schools to ensure that multiculturalism might work. No one considers that perhaps dividing children into groups of black against white, or Muslim against non-Muslim, or LGBT against straight, to name a few of the groups, is a bad idea. Do you know that there is actually an award in the independent sector for the school that is the most anti-racist? Do we realize that this means that the people who are most likely to be running the country are immersed in a culture of anti-racism in their formative years? Children matter, schools matter, and schools are not just engines of social mobility for the individual. They are engines of socialization of either division or cohesion for the country. At Michaela, we have a culture and a community that is non-divisive, where we are all British together, where we all sing God Save the King, whatever we might think individually about the King. Because we recognize that getting along as one all together is crucial if we are to succeed as a country. So what do we need to remember? 1, children matter. 2, schools and parents matter. 3, schools have impact on more than just social mobility for the individual. 4, schools hold the future of our country within their walls. And 5, change our schools and we'll change the country. Thank you.